Do you want to know the truth about the sound of exhaustion? It doesn't scream, it sighs. It happens at 10 p.m. in a pristine kitchen when the Excel spreadsheet reveals that, despite all the effort, the numbers just don't add up. Look at this couple. They are society's model students. They went to college, got married, and combined their incomes. The handbook stated clearly, 2 salaries mean double the security. They believed it. They bought the full package of suburban happiness. However, what I see from here isn't success. It is a sophisticated trap. As we look at the lights glowing in upscale neighborhoods, from Dallas to Charlotte, we are witnessing the great lie of our era, the silent construction of a golden cage, where freedom has been traded for stainless steel appliances and chronic anxiety. We have been conditioned to believe that dual income is an automatic passport to tranquility. But no one warned us about the fine print of this social contract. The system sold us the idea that adding 2 salaries means doubling our standard of living, when, in reality, it often just means doubling the points of failure. Today we're going to have a frank conversation about this trap. Not to judge anyone's choices, the game was designed to be played this way, but to dissect the engineering behind this pressure. Let's understand why, even with so much money coming in, the sensation of suffocating remains. And most importantly, how we flip the table. I'm Buck, and if you feel like you're running on a high-speed treadmill that never goes anywhere, take a deep breath. Let's shut this machine down together. Let's start by talking about something that affects us all, without exception. The pressure to perform. When 2 salaries unite, a new entity is born in the market. The system invites us to create what I call the social avatar. It is that idealized version of the family we present to the world. The combined purchasing power opens tempting doors, the right neighborhood, the car that commands respect, the vacation that looks great in photos. The problem isn't the desire for comfort. Comfort is good. The problem is what I call the approval tax. Without realizing it, we enter a dynamic where every salary increase is instantly absorbed by a new image, necessity. The wardrobe needs to communicate authority. Dinner needs to be at the trendy spot. We stop being individuals with authentic desires and become curators of an art exhibition called Our Perfect Life. Buck sees this happen all the time, a silent arms race between neighbors. If the lawn next door is greener, we feel a biological obligation to improve ours. It is an ancient instinct, hijacked by modern marketing. We use our vital energy and our second salary as ammunition in this cold war of appearances. And the irony? That neighbor, the one who seems to have life figured out, is probably looking at our house with the same anxiety. It is a cycle where everyone tries to impress everyone else, and the only thing that truly grows is the credit card bill. The turning point happens when we activate the wise observer. It's that part of our mind that can take a step back, look at this race, and ask, is this really what I want, or is it what they expect of me? True sovereignty begins when we realize we don't need permission to live a simpler life rich in meaning. Let's look at this with the coldness of an engineer. The standard modern middle-class lifestyle has created a system of serial dependency. Think of a twin-engine plane. If it is designed in such a way that it mandatorily requires both engines at maximum power just to stay in the air, it is a flawed design. If one engine fails, the plane doesn't glide. It crashes. Many families today operate exactly like this. The mortgage, the kids' private school, the car payments. Everything is structured counting on the absolute certainty that both paychecks will hit the account on the 15th forever. We have eliminated the margin for error. But life is organic. It is unpredictable. Burnout, a corporate restructuring, a family health issue. In the old model, there was fat to burn. In the current model, the loss of one income becomes a catastrophic event in a matter of months. This lack of margin creates a subliminal terror. We go to work with a different kind of weight on our chests. We accept toxic situations, swallow our pride, and postpone dreams because we cannot afford the luxury of stopping. The system loves this fragility because it makes us docile. And this spills over into the home. When the household survival depends on continuous peak performance from both sides, empathy suffers. A partner's fatigue stops being something to nurture and becomes a risk to the spreadsheet. Financial pressure is the acid that corrodes the most beautiful connections. Buck's proposal here is to reintroduce redundancy. True security doesn't come from earning more to spend more. It comes from building a life that sustains itself if necessary, with only one of the engines, while the other engine builds the future. Peace lives in the margin. There's a bill that doesn't arrive by mail, but our body charges it with interest, the biological cost. Maintaining 2 high-performance jobs and an impeccable domestic life requires an amount of energy that is biologically unsustainable in the long run. The result is what I call the intimacy vacuum. We arrive home so drained that deep dialogue is replaced by logistics. Did you pay the electric bill? Did you pick up the kids? We become excellent partners in a company called Family Incorporated, but we lose the human connection. Fatigue turns us into functional zombies. And how does the brain deal with this exhaustion? By seeking quick rewards. It's compensatory spending. That expensive dinner on Tuesday isn't hunger. It's a cry for help from a brain seeking dopamine. We buy expensive toys for the kids to compensate for our absence. The system profits from our guilt and our tiredness. Recovering financial sovereignty requires, mandatorily, recovering biological sovereignty. We need rest. We need boredom. A rested couple makes better decisions. A couple without dark circles under their eyes sees opportunities that the exhausted couple misses. The biggest challenge to escaping this trap often isn't the bank, it's the environment. I call this the geometry of envy. We are social beings. When we see the group leveling up, our instinct is to follow. If all our friends go to Europe, staying home feels like defeat. But here is the secret of the true sovereigns: the capacity to be the outsider of the group. We need to install a filter, learn the elegant art of the no. When we decide to stop competing for status, something curious happens. At first, people find it strange. They might even make jokes. But deep down, what they feel is curiosity, and even a hint of envy at our freedom. The wise observer smiles at this. He knows that true wealth is silent. The greatest luxury in the modern world is becoming a financial ghost. Imagine the peace of moving through the world without anyone knowing the real size of your net worth. When we don't show off, we don't attract envy. We don't attract loan requests. We don't attract problems. Anonymity is the ultimate shield for a prosperous family. Teaching this to our children, that value lies in who we are and what we build, not in what we show, is the greatest legacy we can leave. Okay, Buck, we understand the diagnosis. But how do we operate the cure? We don't need miracles, we need a protocol. Let's call it the Stealth Wealth Protocol. The Truth Audit. Take a night to look at the numbers, not as enemies, but as allies on a mission. What are we paying for that only serves to maintain the persona? What is essential for our real happiness, and what is just a golden chain? The audacious goal, the North Star to pursue, is trying to adjust fixed living costs to fit into 50% of the combined income. Sounds radical? Freedom requires courage. Strategic silence. Let's make a pact of discretion. The world doesn't need to know how much we earn. Let's create an alibi of simplicity. When asked why we haven't upgraded the car, the answer is simple. We're focused on other projects. Or we're simplifying. Keeping real income top secret protects us from the lifestyle inflation that comes from the outside in. The shadow asset, the inversion. The golden strategy. Live on one salary and treat the second as if it doesn't exist for consumption. This second salary goes straight into building freedom, investments. It is our shadow asset. By doing this, we don't just save. We double the speed of our retirement and create an impenetrable moat of security. The governance ritual. Once a month, sit down to celebrate, not to fight over pennies, but to see the progress. Look how much our wall of protection has grown. Transform financial management into a ritual of union, a moment to toast the freedom being built brick by brick. We have reached the decision point. The system will keep trying to sell us the illusion that having things is the same as having a life. But now we have the vision of the observer. We know that true wealth is silence. It is the calm of waking up on a Monday, knowing that if the corporate world turns upside down, our house remains firm, that our roof is ours, that our time is ours. Buck's invitation is for us to form this sovereign alliance. Let 2026 be the year we stop being hostages to image and become architects of our destiny. Protect the dignity of your family. Every no said to unnecessary consumption is a resounding yes to your freedom. The dual income trap is real, but the cage door is unlocked. The key is our willingness to walk lighter, stick to the plan, take care of each other. Money is just the tool. The partnership and peace of mind are the work of art. Stay firm. Buck is here, rooting for you and sharing the map. The territory is yours. I'll see you in the next chapter.